Before we actually start, I just want all of you to sit straight, close your eyes, and just sit. Just be. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Try bringing your focus as much as possible to your breath. Keep breathing, focus. As you focus on your breath, you'll realize that your breath duration will automatically increase. You'll tend to breathe slightly longer. I don't want you to forcefully do it. I just want you to breathe. Keep your eyes closed. You can sit as you are comfortable as and how you feel like. If you feel like crossing your leg, that's fine. You can sit like the way I'm sitting in Vajrasana. So I'm basically sitting on my ankles. You can sit like that. If you like Padmasana, you can sit in Padmasana. Whatever you like, just be. This practice of focusing on your breath is known as Anapanasati. It's a very beautiful practice. You really don't have to do anything other than the major task of focusing on your breath. Feel the flow of air entering your nostril, leaving your nostril. If you have good awareness and you can feel the flow going through the windpipe, that's also good. We'll start the session by chanting Om 3 times. Inhale, we'll chant one short Om and 3 Shantis. Inhale, Om Shanti. 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 Slowly. Open your eyes and namaste. Everyone, welcome to today's International Yoga Day session. Some of you are new here, so I'm Zahabia Walbeck from Wyforia. A short thing, I've been teaching for more than 10 years, and today I felt it would be a nice session if we all could, from all parts of the world, could come together and practice yoga. So, a short about what we are going to do today. Today, we are just going to have a glimpse of the most important part of yoga. What yoga is usually they focus only on asana and pranayam, but actually it's an 8 limbs. There are 8 steps. We're going to just touch base on few of them so you can get a better idea of what in yoga is in entirety, in the complete form. Okay, so the first two parts in yoga are the first two, where how you treat yourself and how you treat the society or the world around you. Okay, so that's for example, not stealing, being clean, treating everyone with love and respect. This is what comes in the first two parts of it. Now, coming to the third part is where the asana is there. The third limb is asana. Fourth is pranayama, the breathing exercises. Fifth is pratyahar, where you actually move your entire focus inwards. So here we till pranayama we'll still outwards. We are still focusing on flow. But as you come into pratyahar, you try going inwards. You also stop as much input from your senses. You go inwards, pratyahar. Okay, and then comes dharna, dhyan, samadhi, where you are, in short, taking are the awareness techniques, the meditation techniques, and samadhi is the final state. Okay, so we will focus on all of this slightly in small bits. Let's go. So we'll start with asana first, being the third limb. Physical practice is very, very important because it's very hard to get into pranayama, pratyahar, dharna, dhyan, which are basically breathing exercises, inwards focus, and dharna, dhyan, where the meditation or concentration and meditation comes in. If you cannot sit for long, if you don't have a good, flexible, strong body, a well balanced body, it's very hard to move up. Because if there's energy restricted, let's say I have pain in my shoulder, let's say, that means the energy in that area is restricted. How am I supposed to have a free flowing energy in my body that helps me in the later stages if this is already restricted here? So, it's very important to practice asana. You don't have to do the intermediate and advanced asana, but at least basic asanas are good. So, let's start off. Let's start with that. Cross your fingers, stretch, lift your arms up. Just stay there. Let me just get. Hold. Good. Down. Twist. One hand here, the other hand goes back. Change. Other side. Twist. So when you're twisting, you're trying to keep your hip constant in one place. You're not moving. You're keeping your hips silent. You're just moving from your thoracic. Slowly. Back. Stretch. One arm over your ear. Change. Other side. And back. Let's. So in asanas also, what are the main key points that we usually focus on? One is the stretch. Everyone knows that asanas are all about stretching. So first, let's just stretch legs. But the misconception is asanas is not about just stretching. Yoga is not about being flexible. When we talk about flexibility, it's like, okay, We or sometimes they also say we are not flexible, that's why we don't do yoga. That also doesn't work. Okay, so it's good to stretch your body, but at the same time you should be as flexible. The flexibility and the strength in your body should be complementing each other. You cannot be just one. You can't be extremely strong, then the stiffness comes in. You can't be completely flexible, then the muscles have been stretched to an extent more than what they can or what they should be. So you should always have both the elements equally. Flexibility and strength go hand in hand. So we are here. Just stay there, breathe. Being Sunday morning, I'm not just going to make you do a lot of tough thing. We're just going to enjoy. Inhale up and down. Next, Vakrasana. Bend your right knee, place your right foot on the mat. We are doing a variation, an easier variation of Vakrasana. You're going to hold the knee with the opposite elbow, twist. Change. Other side. And twist. When you're twisting, lengthen your spine and twist. Keep your chin away from your chest. Slowly. Back. In Vakrasana, we'll go. If you're comfortable with this, then you can try out the next variation. But if you feel that you are already finding it slightly tough to twist, then stay with this variation. Okay, we'll go to the next variation where you will be bending the knee below. So the first knee goes above the other leg. So it's my right leg. I bend the right knee, I place the right foot on the other side of the left leg. Here I'm bending my left knee. Twist. Hold the knee, twist. So I'm holding my right knee with my left elbow. Change. Other side. Bend the left knee, place the left foot on the other side of the right leg. Bend the right knee, twist. And slowly. Back. Both legs straight. Now, a side stretch. So you'll bend your right knee and keep your left leg straight on the side. Stretch. Nice. Hold. Keep your chin away from your chest. Hold. We're just going easy, so you really don't have to pull too much to reach the floor right now. Just go nice and easy. Slowly. Back. Other side. Like every electrical system which has a manual, yoga also has a manual. This manual was written 5,000 years ago or so. The manual is called Yoga Sutra. It has 196 words when the words are not more than 5 words. And that basically encapsulates the entire yoga. What you have to do, how you will feel, all pre, post, everything. Slowly. Cross your leg and sit. So, according to the Yoga Sutra, now, first I'll show you what we do and I'll explain the Yoga Sutra in between. So, you're sitting cross leg. I want you to do eagle hands. Bend your elbow, place the other elbow on it, and make a namaste. Stay here. So, according to the Yoga Sutra, there's one sutra known as Thiram Sukham Asanam. You should remember this very, very simple verse. Stiram Sukham Asanam. Stable, comfortable asana practice. Whichever asana you do, Make sure you feel comfortable and stable in it. Else, you will either be falling out of it, you'll be pushing too hard to gain any benefit from it. So, whenever you're practicing, keep repeating in your head Sthiram, Sukham, Asanam. It will change your entire way of looking at yoga asanas. Plus, it will help you gain a lot of benefit from the asana because now you are there. You don't have any other aim or benefits that you want to reap. You just want to be there. You want to be comfortable. You want to be stable in that asana. Change. Other side. So if you like, you can mentally chant Sthiram, Sukham, Asanam. Mentally. And slowly. Relax. Now, we'll go into downward dog. Both palms on the mat. Lift your hip up. Push your heels down. Slowly. Place your knees on the mat. Sit. Sit in Vajrasan. If you have any ankle injury, then avoid Vajrasan. But if you don't have an ankle injury, then please sit in Vajrasan. I know it's pretty intense for your ankles or for your quads, but try sitting in Vajrasan as much as possible in the day. It will help you. Especially with the sedentary lifestyle, you have to sit in Vajrasan. Okay? Let's go. Again. Up. And slowly. Down. Breathe. Now, the next part, what we'll do is we'll go into a downward dog. From there, we'll start walking with our feet towards our hand. Okay, so we are in a downward dog. Start walking with your feet. Try keeping your knees straight. You'll feel a lot of hamstring stretch happening. And slowly come up. So, stretching was one aspect of yoga asana. The second thing that we all know about yoga asanas is Surya Namaskar. Okay, so everyone stand. We'll now practice Surya Namaskar. Start of the mat. You have hip distance between your feet. Inhale, both arms go up. Stretch, go down. So we are doing the variation of Bihar School of Yoga. In my normal sessions of Surya Namaskar, I have made a lot of variations for Surya Namaskar, knowing that how the class is. But right now we'll do what is the basic form of Surya Namaskar. Right leg goes back. Asva Sanchalan. Left leg goes back. Downward dog. Come into a plank. So in a plank, your upper back is nicely engaged. Elbows are facing each other. Now, Ashtang, knees down, chest down. Keep your legs together. Inhale, up, bhujam. Exhale, downward dog. Bring your right foot in front. Left foot in front. And from here, we'll go straight up and relax. Breathe. Some of you who are doing Surya Namaskar for the first time, it's fine. Just go with the flow of your body right now. How much ever you can manage, and with whatever variation you can manage, just go slow and steady. Okay? Let's go. We'll do this one last time. Start of the mat. Inhale, up. Stretch. Go very slow. Down. Left leg goes back. Right leg goes back. So we are in a downward dog right now. Plank. Knees down, chest down. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward dog. Left leg in front, Asvasanchalan. Right leg in front. From there, inhale, up, and relax. Breathe. Just stand and breathe. Now, the third thing that's very famous about yoga it comes to is balancing asanas. Balancing asanas are something that I really love. Out of all the asanas, I prefer doing a lot of balancing asanas, especially when they are in a sequence. So, today we'll try doing few balancing asanas. If you can manage to maintain a sequence, good. If you can't manage to maintain a sequence, no problem. Come out of it, go into the next one. Okay? I will tell you in form of a sequence, but if you fall out, not a problem. Okay? We'll start first with a tree pose. So inhale. I love the breeze today. Inhale, lift your arms up. Okay? And we'll make a small tree first. Just a small tree. So you're not, that's why I've lifted your arms up first, because I don't want you to hold your foot. We're doing a very small tree. Hold. Stay there. A small tree is when your foot is only on the calf or near the ankle. Try keeping your body straight. And slowly relax. Change. Other side. Again, lift your arms up and place your foot on the calf. So right now we're just warming up to first stay in a balancing pose before we actually start doing the sequence. And slowly. Down. Okay? Breathe. In balancing asanas, it's important that your feet play an important role. With your feet, we do the three-pointer, Pada Bandha. The base of the big toe, the base of the little toe, and the middle of the heel. So first bring your focus to that point. Okay? While you're standing, we are in Tadasana right now. Just bring your focus to the 3 points on both your feet and push your feet down. See how stable you will feel once both feet have equal weight, equal pressure on all the 3 points. Okay? Are we good? Keep pushing. Now, lift one foot up. Focus on that point, on those 3 points. Breathe. Focus on those 3 points. my right leg, I'm pushing my right foot into the mat and I'm focusing on Padabandha happening on the right foot. Change. Other side. Up, focus. So now the right knee is up. I'm focusing on the left foot. Breathe. And slowly. Now you've got a feel of this. Okay. So we'll go through a sequence. The first sequence, the first asana of the sequence, we'll start with the tree pose. We'll go into the chair, the eagle pose. Okay, so we will make a sequence like that. Now, the ones who are new, I'll show you what you can do. Okay, we'll do, all of us will do it together. I'll show you a easier variation and the full version. Okay, so let's start with the tree pose. So the ones who are doing it for the first time, please do the small tree. The ones who have been practicing with me, see if you can do this tree. Okay? So the ones who are new will do the small tree where the foot is on the calf. The ones who have been practicing with me will bring the foot all the way up till your hip joint. Okay? I'm leaving the choice up to you because we all are adults here and no ego is playing. Whatever you feel is comfortable for you to balance. Okay? Slowly lift up. Breathe. Good. Now, slowly bring your hands down. Don't take your foot anywhere. Stay there. Stay there. Now, the one again who are practicing for the first time, you lift the foot up from here and place your foot here. Okay. So from the little tree, the small tree, you'll just place the ankle above the knee and hold. Now, the ones who have been practicing with me will try going all around the foot, all around the leg that you're standing on, and make a eagle pose. So we're still focusing, we're still moving around, keeping our foot down. Okay, move, stay, make a namaste. If you want, you can do the eagle hands of twisting your arms around each other, or you can make a namaste, whichever works for you. Try. If you want to use the support, no problem. Feel comfortable, feel stable. Good. You're here. Now, the third one, the last one of the sequence. The ones who are, so all of us will come to this position. Okay? You're here. Now, see if you can go into a chair pose. I know it's difficult. I am adding a little challenge, but for the fun of it, come on, lift. Good. Squat. And slowly up. Relax. Breathe. Just stay there. Stand. Breathe. Again, see how your body feels, how that foot feels that was on the mat continuously. See how the other foot feels in comparison. Stand in Tadasana. Stand straight. Try keeping equal weight on both your feet. Always come back to the standing position. It will also train you to how to stand in the entire day. Once this thing becomes part of you, irrespective where you are, what time of the day is, when you are standing straight, you're standing straight. You will not be standing like this, which normally happens. We tend to stand on one leg more. So, hip distance between your feet, just stand. Good? Now we'll do the entire sequence on the other leg. So now we know the sequence. See if you would need a support, take a support, no problem. And I'm also showing you the easier version. So we can do that. Okay, let's go. So if you want, you place the foot on the calf, or you place the foot here. If you want, you can hold the foot also, no problem. If you're placing it here, this is an intermediate pose, so please make sure the ones who are doing it for the first time don't do this because there's a lot of twists happening up and I don't know you right now. So go with the easy tree pose. The ones who have been practicing, since I know everyone here, do this. Okay? The ones who have been practicing with me for long. Lift. Both arms up. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Focus on the 3 pointers. See how you feel. If you're losing your balance, you'll realize that you're not pushing equally on all the 3 points. Slowly. Done. Now we'll go into the eagle pose. So you want, you can keep your foot here and make a namaste for an easy eagle. If you want to go into the full variation, just take your foot around and hold. Good. Stay there. Slowly. Up. Now, all of us will bring our foot, our ankle on the thigh and go into the chair pose. Slowly. Up. Relax. Breathe. Just breathe. Stand in Tadasana again. Breathe. Now, two more sections that I think are very focused a lot. One is strength, so we'll do warrior, and then we'll come to one inversion, which is very easy. Okay, so I'll break down the inversion for you too. First, we'll do the warrior pose. For the strength, take distance between your feet. We'll practice warrior two. Okay, in warrior two, your hip is facing straight ahead. My right foot goes out and both arms straight. You're pulling your stomach in, trying to keep your body as straight as possible, and you're here. Slowly. Up. Change. Other side. The left foot goes out. Both arms in line with your shoulders and bend. Remember, Stiram Sukham Asanam. Stay there in a comfortable manner. Try keeping your breath, whatever is normal for you. Don't start doing long inhale and long exhale. No. Just whatever is comfortable for you. And slowly. Up. Both legs. And up. Breathe. We will sit. Just come down and sit. Again, we are sitting in Vajrasana. I really do push people in my class to sit a lot in Vajrasana compared to other asanas because I really feel this helps with our current lifestyle. There, better than Vajrasana is Padmasana and Siddhasana. There are many better when it comes to sitting, but this is what we need because of our lifestyle. That's why I push on this a lot. Okay? So you're just sitting, breathe. Try keeping your back straight. Breathe. Good. Now, the next thing that we'll do are inversions. So I'm going to show you a again, I'll show you two variations. One, the first one. So keep sitting. I'll show you the variation and then we go ahead. So one is if you're new and you have not done any inversion before, you'll just lift your legs up in the air and stay. That's it. Nothing to do. You'll keep your legs up. Keep them nice and soft at the knees. If it becomes too hard, you're just trying to keep the legs up in the air. And you are here. Okay. Now, the second one is Vipreet Karni. So, if you have been practicing yoga or you think you can get into it, I would prefer that practicing with me. Please try this out. So, you're here. You lift your legs up and you're here. Once you hold the hip, you lift the legs up. To come out, you bring your legs in and slowly go down. And then the legs go down. So when you're doing inversion, it's very important that you keep your core engaged. That's the first thing. Okay? So I will let you decide because we all are adults here, but see what you are comfortable with. Okay? There are many of us in the class. So we'll go slow and steady. First, lie down on your back. Choose which one you would like to go with. If you think you can go for Vipreet Karni, go for Vipreet Karni where you're lifting your legs and the hip up. If you feel you want to go for the easier version, go for the easier version. Nothing right, nothing wrong. Just do what you feel is right for you or what you can do properly right now. Let's try doing that. Okay? Let's go. Lift. Nice. Keep your core engaged. Keep pulling your core. So when I say engage your core, pull your stomach in slightly. Hold. Nice. If not, just keep your legs up straight. That's also perfectly fine. Is higher than your head. Stay there till you are comfortable. Once you feel you cannot hold anymore or you would like to come down, just come down. Slowly. Come down. Lie down straight. Fully straight. Breathe. Place your hands on your hip. Just below your belly, basically. Feel your belly rise. Feel the base rise. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now we'll do few stretches while lying down. Take your right leg straight up. Bend your right knee and hug the right knee. You're bringing the right knee as close to your chest as possible. Leg goes up and down. Other leg. Up Bend your knee and hug. Leg goes up and down. Now lift both legs up, bend your knees and hug. Breathe both legs up and down. Now, Matsyendrasana. Bend your right knee. Okay, so right now both legs are straight. After that, you'll bend your right knee, place your right foot on the left knee. Both arms in line with your shoulders and twist. You're dropping your right knee on the left side. Change. Other side. Bend the left knee, place the left foot on the right knee, twist. Slowly. Back. Bend both your knees. Place your feet on the mat. We'll do the stretch. It's called number 4. So you'll your knees are bent, your feet are on the mat right now. Okay, then you lift your right foot up, externally rotate the right leg, place the right ankle on the left knee. You'll slowly lift and hold the left knee, bring the left knee close to your chest. Try keeping the left knee in line with your left shoulder. Don't try bringing it to the center line. Stay there. You'll feel a stretch happening in the right glute around the outer section here. Change. Other side. So both lift the left knee off, externally rotate the leg, place the left ankle on the right knee, hold slowly. Down. Now, Shavasana. So the next asana that we all know or we all like doing is Shavasana. So lie down in Shavasana, both legs straight, both arms next to your body. Shavasana looks like the easiest asana there is, but actually it's one of the toughest asana because in Savasana, when your body is completely still and you've let gone of it, you have to focus on your mind. You have to make sure that your mind doesn't wander off. Because when you let go of your body, you will realize that your mind starts going in all different directions. So, right now, I want you to bring the focus to your breath. Inhale, your belly goes out. Exhale, your belly goes in. Inhale, your belly goes out. Exhale, your belly goes in. Keep breathing through your belly, and focus on your breath. If your mind tends to wander off, bring it back to your breath. That's one thing. Second thing is just keep yourself as calm and enjoy your breath. Let go of each and every part of your body, your fingers, your hands, your toes, your legs. Just let it sink into the mat and focus on your breath. Slowly move your fingers, move your toes, stretch your fingers, stretch your toes, cross your fingers over your head and full body stretch and slowly. Turn to your right, sit. Sit in whichever asana you feel comfortable in. Sukhasan, Vajrasan, Padmasan, whatever you feel comfortable in. One. If sitting on the mat is not comfortable for you right now, place a cushion or two below your hip so that you raise your hip slightly. Automatically, it becomes comfortable to sit in. Okay. So this was the asana part. Now we are gonna, in glimpse, focus on pranayama, pratyahar, dharana, dhyan, all that in a glimpse of it because they're pretty vast in their own, and it requires a lot of practice to go to those levels. Okay, so we'll start with pranayama. Pranayama, I just want you to focus on inhale and exhale for the start. You'll try keeping, we'll do Sahaj Pranayam. Okay, you'll try keeping your, first you'll check whatever your inhale is, and then you'll try going to double of your inhale. So your exhale will be double of your inhale. So first check, try inhaling and see if you can exhale for double the count. Okay? We'll do that 5 times. If you cannot do double the count, it's okay. It's perfectly fine. I'm just saying that's the limit we go to. Okay? If you want, you stay. If 5 is your inhale count, 5 is your exhale count, good. 5 is your inhale count and 10 is your exhale count, good. I'm just telling you what's the max you can exhale up to. It's always twice the inhale. Okay? So keep your eyes closed, back straight, 5 breaths. When you're inhaling or exhaling, make sure you're not making any sound and it is a comfortable inhale and exhale. There should be no amount of force in your inhale or exhale. Now, the next thing that we'll do is Ujjayi Pranayama. Now, Ujjayi Pranayama is slightly difficult. Why? Because you have to constrict the windpipe. Now, doing that, it's a little difficult if you don't have the awareness there. So, what I would like you to do is just bring your awareness to your throat, not to the base of, not to the start, not here on top, but here, okay, where your voice box is, there. You'll bring your focus there and then see if you can, with your awareness, if you can feel those muscles there and try contracting your windpipe to 50%. If you can't, you continue with what we just now did, inhale and double exhale. But if you can, bring your focus there, keep it contracted, inhale and exhale while your windpipe is contracted. Okay? Sure. So keep your eyes closed for 5 breaths. Inhale and exhale. There is no hold as of now. Just inhale and exhale. Once you're done with your 5 breaths, just see how you feel, how the first practice was, and how did you feel after the second practice. Even if you repeated the same practice, see how you felt. Or if you managed to do it, Jay, see how you felt. Now, we'll practice the fifth limb of yoga, Pratyahar. Pratyahar, again, we are bringing our focus inwards. So we will be focusing, we'll do a very simple practice, which we already did in the start, which is called Anapanasati. We'll just focus on the flow of the air. Okay? Now, you will focus on the flow of the air, the two places, depending on each individual, we have a slightly sensitive, either the nostrils, the beginning here, the whole of the nostril is sensitive, so we feel the air there, or we can feel the air that we are inhaling, exhaling on the wall of the nostrils. And some of us, it's possible to feel the air once it's going inside the windpipe and coming out, which is here. Wherever your sensitivity is more, bring your focus there. We are not increasing or decreasing the duration of breath. So now we will not count 1, 2, 3 while breathing. We'll only focus on those 3 points, any of those 3 points, not all three together, any one. Either the nostrils, the here, the start, or the wall of the nostrils, or this section, wherever you feel the flow of the wind of the air nicely. Okay? Just keep your eyes closed. We'll stay there for a minute. I just want you to focus on any of those 3 points. Breathe. Now, the next one is dharna. So, what is the differentiation? Everywhere we are focusing on our breath, but we are reducing the focus point. But when we came to pratyahar, we removed the count part. So it only had to focus on the flow. That's it. So it would have become slightly more difficult to focus on the flow. Your mind would have started wandering off faster. Now the next part is where we're just going to focus on nothing. Now, just imagine if it was already, if you found it difficult to focus during the pranayama, if you found it difficult to focus during the pratyahara, this is why meditation on the dharna dhyan becomes difficult. And that's why we have these limbs, that's why we have the steps, so that we first get comfortable in asana, then we get comfortable in pranayama, then pratyahara, then dharna and dhyan, which is in one, let's just call it meditation for now. That's why it's important we go step by step and not just jump into the final, okay, I want to get into meditation. So we will just for 30 seconds, I'm going to keep it as short as 30 seconds. I want you to close your eyes. This is for just for you. See, yoga is all experiential. So it's just for you to know. So close your eyes right now. Focus on the gaps between your thoughts. Those are the blank spots. Okay? Or focus on stillness. See if you can have even half a second of no thought. Just focus on that. Just be there. Just for 30 seconds. Be. And relax. So you would have noticed my main aim here was that you get a feel of all the steps that are there in yoga, all the limbs that are there. They're called limbs. All the limbs that are there. And why are those limbs in a particular order? Why they go from asana, pranayama, pratyahar, dharna, dhyan. Why is that order there? It's because the difficulty level at each point increases. And there are a lot of things in between that you get to learn about yourself because in the end, Yoga is all about knowing your true self. It's not about the mind that you think you are. It's not about the body. I'm white, I'm black, I have brown eyes, I have blonde hair. It's not about all of that. It's about this true consciousness that's there existing somewhere inside us, which right now you might be wondering what is that, because according to all of us we are what we are for the last whatever amount of years we have stayed with this body, or whatever we relate ourselves to. We are someone's daughter, son, or whatever. But there's a true consciousness that we tend to miss out. Only through practice, only through staying in asana for very long. After that, when you stay in pranayama, as you open up those energy channels, as you open up uh, more to your true consciousness, you tend to cut off from all this external. You go more internal, and you find the true essence. You find your true, I wouldn't call it the true purpose, but the true you. And in the end, you'll realize that the true you in you is the same true you in me, because we all are part of the same universe. So we are really not different from each other. But just because whatever is the samskar, which is known as the characteristics that we have gained over our past lifetimes, or the characteristics we built because of the situations that we are currently in, we are what we are. But this is not true. We are way lost. So we are here if you like yoga. The main aim for you through yoga should be finding that true self. It just brings bliss with it, pure happiness. It makes you calmer. You'll find everything else okay. Yeah. So this is getting too philosophical, so I'll stop here. There's something else I wanted to add. We actually were planning to do a yoga and a sound healing session today, but due to the technical reasons and because we are doing it through all the technology that we have attached, it wasn't possible to give you the quality that we were looking for. So we have a link, a YouTube link that my sister will right now share on the chat. If you have an access to the chat, you will see it. If not, just ping me later, and I will share the link with you. Okay. If I have an attendance happening, I will share with you anyways. So there's a link where on YouTube. It's stored for us on YouTube. You can go there, and whenever you have time in the peace of your own house, you can listen to it. It was just created for all of us for this session. Okay, so that's done by Almas. She's a sweetheart. She does beautiful sound healing sessions. Please do check her out if you like to. So that's from me. That's from today. That's all for today. Um, if you guys have any questions, if you have any feedbacks, please do let me know. But I'm very happy that all of you could come for this session, and I hope you all enjoyed the session. Namaste. Okay, so just place your palms in Namaste. We will chant Om 3 times before really ending the session. Okay, so just place your palms here. Inhale, 3 Oms. One short Om and 3 Shantis. Inhale. Om Shanti. 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 Slowly open your eyes and namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day. Happy International Yoga Day.